Good morning. Mark here from Mark's Garage. Back today with another quick video on the 2018 Panigale V4S. Just going to go over a couple things. I haven't made a video in quite some time. Got some parts on order once again. Stuff is still delayed quite a bit if you're trying to get anything in, particularly the carbon fiber. What I did want to share with you some of the plans that I got and some of the parts that I've already got in. So I was tinkering with doing a little bit of some carbon fiber work on some stuff here and there. What I kind of wanted to do was do a mixture of some of the satin carbon and then a mixture of some of the gloss carbon. So what I want to do is kind of do the small pieces in gloss so they kind of stand out, and then the bigger pieces like the front fender and the rear hugger, and then I'm going to do the tank panel up here. I'm going to do that in the satin. So the bigger pieces, you know, maybe the exhaust guard and some subframe covers, I'll do that in the satin finish, and then the smaller stuff in the gloss, kind of to just contrast. Kind of what I got into that situation was I bought the Jill's Tooling rear sets, which they had carbon heel guards, and part of my aero exhaust is carbon end caps, and then a satin foot guard there on this side. So I was like kind of looking at that, and I'm like, well, that contrast looks kind of cool, so I think I'm going to go that route for now. Worst case scenario, I can take some of the smaller satin piece or gloss pieces off later, and then turn them into the matte finish pretty easily. So some of the stuff that I got is, if y'all remember one of the other videos, I showed you my my carbon front sprocket cover. I originally had the plastic one on there, and I modified it. I cut it out. In RC51 world, they call it the Nicky mod. So you can see the front sprocket, and kind of gives it that race bike look, and see some of the mechanical parts. So I found a carbon version of it, of the OEM piece, and this is, I think, from Z4 Carbon. Actually, it's a US seller. I assumed it was China, but it's actually US. The stuff might be made in China, but the quality is it was hit or miss on some of the parts, some of the reviews that I saw. But I ordered up the front sprocket cover, and then with intentions of modifying it anyway. So what I did was ordered that one from the Z4 Carbon, and then cut it out and modified it, cleaned up the edges real nice and everything, just to kind of see if I like the look. And I'll probably end up leaving this piece on here. It turned out so good. So I trimmed out the center of that, and really like the look of that one. And then the other thing that I've done that I've already installed is I really like the looks of the OEM mirrors on this bike. There are some aftermarket options. They're ultra expensive, and I mean, you know, $600, $650, and I just couldn't get with the look of any of them. You know, they had, you know, LEDs that just didn't look right in the mirror, or the profile of the mirrors really didn't look good. So I like the OEM, and I found these mirror covers. I think I got these on eBay actually, but I was so surprised at the good quality that arrived here when it came from overseas. These things are ultra thin. You can definitely tell they were made in an autoclave, and pressed and vacuum sealed down. Super thin. The tolerances are very tight on these carbon mirror covers. They actually are covers. They slide over them, and you use some silicone sealant, just like a lot of people do with the frame covers, to adhere them to the factory mirrors. And, you know, fit and finish on them, you guys see, it's just perfect, uniform edge all the way around for where they mount. You know, not distorted at all in the symmetry around the signals. Really like these. I found them, and I think they were around 150 bucks or so. And I think the front sprocket guard was around the $100 as well too. Another thing that I did is I have on order Ducati Performance rear fender, a Ducati Performance upper tank fairing piece, and Ducati Performance front mud guard. So those are on order right now. They're waiting on the rear piece to come in, and then they're going to ship them over to me from AMS. And I'm undecided really on what I'm going to do with the rear. I mean, it is a $420 rear hugger, but I like the look of what I did with the OEM one there, removing the rear chain guard. So I removed the rear chain guard piece and just modified it with my Dremel and smoothed out the edge and smoothed out the contours. I really like the look overall of that, and I like the way that it looks on the bike without that rear chain guard there. So what I might actually do is I might modify that Ducati Performance carbon rear hugger to remove the back portion of it with the chain guard on there. I don't know. I'm still undecided about that. Something about cutting apart a $420 brand new hugger that just doesn't quite sit right with me. But we'll see. We'll see what we do there. You know, and then after that, you know, I've got a few other, you know, small pieces that I want to do. You know, I want to replace these plastic pieces on the subframe cover there. I want to replace those. And then the elephant in the room is the exhaust shield cover. So that one's going to be a big decision for me on whether I go with gloss or matte on that. I'm afraid that if I go with gloss, the heat is going to cause it to discolor and wear out premature anyway. But I think it would look good with the gloss contrasting the matte Ducati Performance rear hugger. So I think that would look good. I want to do the inner fairings and the key guard here. I'm pretty set on doing those in gloss to contrast the matte tank cover there when I do it. I'd like to get in and do the rear brake reservoir bracket. Full 6 makes a bracket that fully replaces that. It's only about $100 and it looks pretty cool there. So I'll probably do that. I may do the plastic surround that goes under here. This is available in carbon as well too. I may do that, and just whatever else comes to mind. But those are kind of some of the plans that I got moving forward. Maybe the swing arm cover, the one that they have, this Ducati Performance with the titanium guard there, looks pretty trick as well too. So other than that, got some maintenance going on the RC51s. I got a budget Nikki apart right now. Did an oil change on her last week, and then discovered that the coolant tank on this side had a small crack in it. And when I went to top the coolant off, I noticed there was some coolant leaking on that. So I ordered up a new coolant tank, and thank God it was actually available. So I didn't have to go to the used market. So I'll put a new coolant tank on that. And then I plan on doing oil change on the 03 this week too as well, and getting that up and running and hitting some miles on it. And then just doing the thing. All right, y'all, that's it for the video. I said I tried not to go too long, but I ended up still going 8 minutes. I like to hear myself talk. So appreciate the subscriptions, the likes, the comments, and the replies. I do read all the comments. So like I said, I accept constructive criticism, and I realize that my brand of biking might not be your brand of biking, and that's cool. You know, do your thing, I'll do my thing. Have a great day here. Mark here from Mark's Garage, out.